said
Awesome.
that
Are you
you
getting
had
an
the
extra
idea
copy?
of the story
Are you
for
gonna
a
get
very
one
long
before
time,
we
but you
leave
didn't
here?
write it
I
until
will.
later on in life.
Mhm.
Was there a specific moment that brought you to writing this, or a specific moment that triggered the writing process?
There was, you know, I was 44, I was married, had 3 kids, my sons were teens, my daughter was preteen. You know, I've talked about this before and I've said, maybe it was a midlife crisis. I mean, I don't know, I just, all of a sudden, at 44, I just thought, time's going so quickly. And if I haven't done, I've always said I was gonna write this story. If I haven't accomplished the things I always said I was gonna do, what am I waiting for? And so I decided that I could write a really bad draft and I could live with that easier than living with regret of saying that I always thought there was something to this story and then never trying it. So I just got up a half hour early one morning and just started writing on the family computer. And it was a half hour before the kids would get up for school. And I would have a cup of coffee and write. And I started to really enjoy that quiet, creative time. So then I started getting up an hour before the kids and just not able to do it every morning, but doing it consistently enough. It got me into that, actually writing the story.
How do you think that decision and the timing of it affected the writing of it?
That's a really good question. I think because one of my mentors later, when he was reading through the manuscript, he was like, you know, first time authors, they try to put everything into a story. Maybe you should write a smaller story to start with. But by that time I was in my 50s and I thought to myself, you know, like you hear advice from people that you respect, but sometimes that advice you're like, no, that's not good advice for me. And I just thought, I'm in my 50s. This is like the one story that I've wanted to tell. I'm gonna make it epic. I'm gonna put whatever I wanna put in it and I'm not gonna hold back because this is it for me. And I wasn't thinking of a career writing and more stories and that. And so I was like, nope, I'm gonna go big. And I'm glad that I did because I'm really proud of the story that I told.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. It means a lot.
Yeah.